All right, I'm gonna speed through this because this is the fourth time that I've had to remake this second part between phone calls and running out of storage. Least valuable player among quarterbacks, Tom Brady. Less than 10 points in 3 of his 4 games and only 13 in his 4th game. Surprises so far this year among tight ends. I'm going to give a co-award to Larry Donnell and Delaney Walker. Now, Donnell is probably more of a surprise. We've all had Walker on our team at one point or another, but they've each dropped 30 points in a game already this year. Probably top 10 plays of the rest of the year. For running backs, I'm going to give it to Bradshaw with an honorable mention to Darren Sproles. Now, both of these guys were backup running backs. You know, Richardson, McCoy cemented in as the number one guy, and they've both outperformed those number one guys. So those are my surprises among running backs. My surprise among wide receivers, this guy almost kicked my butt this week. Is rejuvenated in Baltimore, and that is Steve Smith Sr. Don't just call him Steve Smith. He is Steve Smith Sr. And, it's been a few years since he's been a bona fide number one wide receiver. He's starting to look like that in Baltimore. He's had at least 13 points in every game. So, again, I'm rewarding his consistency, not just the huge games. And then my surprise among quarterbacks, I'm giving to Phillip Rivers. I considered Kirk Cousins here as well. But Rivers, right now, 3rd in total points among quarterbacks, 4th in average. Manning does beat him in average yet. But he was like, borderline starter, preseason ranked anywhere between 10 and 17 or something like that. And has actually been pretty solid so far this year. For my MVPs of the quarter poll, my MVP among tight ends, not giving it to Gronk, not Graham, not Julius Thomas, but rather I'm giving it to Martellus Bennett. Right now, he's got 4 TDs so far this year. He has scored at least 16 points in every game, getting a ton of targets, getting a ton of receptions, even with Marshall and Jeffrey there. Just fantastic so far. I'm not saying that I would trade Julius for him or anything. I'm just saying so far this year, in my mind, he's been the tight end MVP. For wide receivers, we'll do running backs next. DeMarco Murray. I mentioned all the top-tier running backs that have sucked so far this year. Murray has been awesome. At least 100 yards and a touchdown in all 4 games this year. The first time in Cowboys history. He's put up at least 22 points every game this year. So I put him tops among running backs, but I don't know that he would even crack the top 3 among all players. Because wide receiver, there has been some spectacular performances so far this year. Julio is up there, Jordy is up there, but the nod goes to PPR machine Antonio Brown, because not only is he getting the receptions, he is getting the touchdowns as well. He has had at least 17 in every game, and I think he's had 2 games of at least 30 already. Just putting up monster numbers in Pittsburgh. And then finally, the quarterback MVP so far, I'm handing him the MVP overall. My boy, Andrew Luck. He's lapping the competition in terms of total points. He has 23 more points than second place. Back-to-back 370-yard plus games with 4 touchdowns. He's looking fantastic. I'm happy to have him on my team. I'm happy to have him for the next few years as well. So this went a little longer than expected. As usual, I'm back to that. I had to split it up into 2 parts. I'll be back later in the week with Week 5 previews. Peace.